The 2014 fall race at Texas, the AAA Texas 500, was in the round of 8 of the NASCAR playoffs and was the middle round between Martinsville and Phoenix. Jeff Gordon came into the race as a series points leader, and only 7 points covered the top 5 spots. And with Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was already eliminated from playoff contention winning the previous race in Martinsville, that meant at least 2 people can point their way into the championship race at Homestead. So points were as important as ever. Playoff drivers locked out the front row of the grid, with Matt Kenseth getting the pole at an average speed of nearly 200 miles an hour. As I don't know if you remember in 2014, but with 850 horsepower in this package, these cars hauled the mail on the mile and a half. And points leader Jeff Gordon would start second right beside him.
Ready to race at Texas. Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon on the front row, bring him to the green.
When the race got underway with Matt Kenseth leading the field to green, the front half of this race and the back half of this race looked drastically different. The first half saw Matt Kenseth lead the first 53 laps of the race before Jimmie Johnson would take over and control the race for very long green flag runs, the longest of which being 129 laps. The second half of the race would be loaded with cautions, with the first 7 cautions officially be listed as debris cautions due to things like flat tires such as Kyle Busch here, or cars simply just making slight contact with the wall and debris getting on the racetrack. With under 50 laps to go, Jeff Gordon was now in front of the race and looking to close this one out and lock his way into the championship. However, AJ Allmendinger would get a flat tire, causing a caution to come out once again, and this is pretty much the true start of the chaos that ensues to finish this race. Jimmie Johnson, who won the race off pit road, would restart the race in the lead. From this point here, the caution would come out another 6 more times before we would see the checkered flag. The first of which just 6 laps later when Brett Moffitt crashed.
Andy, with this, what we saw out of the 2 car earlier, has that changed a lot of crew chiefs' minds here or what they do?
Well, they did get to see him stay out there 8 laps, maybe 8 green flag laps on his tires. They've only run 5 green flag laps now, so yes, I think that a lot of crew chiefs learned from that. I think you'll see more stay out this time.
Look at all that.
My goodness, he's leaving a lot of stuff behind.
It'll take a while to clean up there.
With only 6 laps on their tires, this is where we'd see some pit strategies start to kick in. Most of the leaders hit pit road, but Matt Kenseth and some others would stay out on the racetrack, and Matt would take over the lead of the race. It would only take 2 laps after the restart for the yellow flag to come out once again, when Joey Logano would spin out from a flat tire due to contact with Marcus Ambrose.
Flat tire possibly.
Oh yeah, going.
Keep digging.
Might be able to save it.
About to the bottom here. Hold on.
Caution for Logano.
There it is, caution. Get turned around here.
Right rear's down.
None of the front runners hit pit road this time, but Kurt Busch, who was able to get past Matt Kenseth on that last restart, is now in the lead of the race.
Looked like a little contact there between the 20 and 41.
Little smoke smoke out of Kurt Busch.
Yep.
Coming from that contact or not.
Jimmy Johnson looking for second. He said,
looks fine.
Kurt said got hit in the left rear. Hope it's not cut.
Pretty exciting restart there with some drivers getting into the infield. Grass there kicking up some dirt, and Matt Kenseth and Kurt Busch making contact while fighting for the lead. But in the meantime, here comes Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick, who are on fresher tires. But this racing also wouldn't last very long, as just another 6 laps later, the caution would come out once again.
Hook spinner off turn 4. Casey Kane in the grass. Caution is out.
Hold the brake, coming by outside.
And another car with smoke and damage. Marcos Ambrose up in turns 1 and 2. Don't know if he got a piece of that, but yellow flag number 10 here at Texas.
4. See Ambrose sliding. Casey Kane got loose and he tried to correct it there. Yeah. Jumped up into Ambrose.
Once again under this yellow, we would have another split decision amongst the leaders. Some would stay out and some would pit, with 3 out of the first 4 cars remaining on the racetrack. Each time the race would restart, you can clearly see the intensity building, and each restart was more exciting than the last one.
Should be fun to watch. Look at Harvick go on the inside.
Trying to run through on the fresher tires. Jimmy Johnson to the race lead. Jeff Gordon second.
They're 4 wide coming through the trial.
There's Matt Kenseth and Ryan Newman in the middle of all that. Newman got a rub.
Yeah, that's rubbing pretty good too. That might be a
left
problem.
rear.
The running order at the front was completely jumbled up with guys on fresh tires, guys on old tires. So there was a lot of moving around and contact out there, but it was only 3 laps until Casey Kane unfortunately found himself in trouble again. This time it would put an end to his day.
Casey Kane again.
Like he didn't realize that that's the 21 car on the outside of Trevor Bayne. So he was kind of moving away from the car that was to his inside, but didn't realize that there was a car to his outside.
Johnson and Gordon on the front row. Pace cars off.
Gordon getting a big push from Tony Stewart. See if that helps him.
Jamie McMurray 3 wide.
Comes Harvick with those tires. Gordon, big run.
Jeff Gordon to the race lead off turn 2. Kurt Busch to the inside of Johnson. Keselowski through 3 wide on the bottom.
Jeff Gordon with a power move to take the lead from Jimmy Johnson on the restart with under 10 laps to go. It looked like we might finally get the run to the finish. But of course that would not be the case, as he would only go 6 laps once again before the caution would come out. And this is where things would really start to get interesting.
Clint Boyer with a slide off turn 4. He's into the wall. Front straightaway. Caution flag is out.
There he goes out. I think he got you in the left rear.
Wow, you can see it on his face. Like Boyer might have had to check up just a little bit to stay out of Paul Menard, and then got tapped in the left rear.
All clear still. Outside, protect the bottom. Looking low, inside, inside. Inside, you're fine. Still lined up inside, keep it up there, keep it up there, keep it up there, yells out.
On this yellow, only Kurt Busch among the leaders would elect to hit pit road for this green-white-checkered restart, and as I mentioned before, this is where things really start to get out of hand.
Contact Gordon and Keselowski.
Coming outside also.
Keselowski to the outside of Johnson for the race lead.
All clear.
Jeff Gordon may have a flat tire.
Yeah, he does.
Gordon spinning, turn 4.
We're spinning
Caution
here.
is out. We'll have another attempt at a green-white-checkered.
Well, who was the leader right there when that caution came? 2 or the 48?
They'll let us know. But talk about a disastrous turn of events for Jeff Gordon.
All right, come on down here, get 4 tires.
That was some contact with Brad Keselowski.
Brad Keselowski forcing the issue there, forcing his way in to try to get the lead of the race and win this thing, makes contact with Jeff Gordon and flattens his tire, and to make things worse for Jeff, he did not get off pit road in time and would get trapped 1 lap down due to this.
I really believe, hate to second guess someone, I really believe it was just that choice that he made to go to the outside. Brad Keselowski was ready to go though, but you can see the contact's what cut the left rear tire down there.
3 wide.
Went to block you there when you went 3 wide. He came down.
Yeah, it's just racing. It's no different than what happened with Tony and Dale last week. Got a little newer tires and got a better run than he did.
Jimmy Johnson and Brad Keselowski would be on the front row for the final restart of the race, but after this green-white-checkered here is where the real fireworks begin.
Do we settle it here, or do we go to a third attempt at some overtime? Junior and McMurray all the way down to the apron. This is for the race lead, coming to the white flag.
Harvick really got the 2-car loose right there. Oh, he's going to turn him. Nope, didn't he? Saved it.
White flag, last lap. Harvick's by Keselowski. But unless there's a slip, he's not going to have enough time to catch Jimmy. A frantic finish, and for the 3rd year in a row, Jimmy Johnson wins the chase race at Texas.
Jimmy Johnson would score his 70th NASCAR Cup Series win, but similar to his teammate Dale Jr. the week before, Jimmy was eliminated already from playoff contention, believe it or not. So that was also kind of a saving grace for Jeff Gordon's championship hopes, that a guy in the playoffs did not score the victory. But as Jimmy was celebrating and these cars got back down to pit road, that's when the real excitement began.
Jeff Gordon probably not very happy with the 2-car there, maybe. They have a talk with him.
I believe he wants to have a conversation and have it right now.
Well, the Fall Brawl used to be a WCW wrestling pay-per-view, and the first one took place in Texas in 1993, so I think it was appropriate for NASCAR to have its own Texas Fall Brawl, and it's without a doubt one of the great NASCAR playoff moments in this current format that we have today. Some crew members were fined and suspended from this, from Jeff Gordon's team as well as Kasey Kahne's team, as you saw that one guy just throwing haymakers in there from Casey's team. Kenny Francis, who was Kasey Kahne's crew chief, as well as Alan Gustafson, who was Jeff Gordon's crew chief at that time, were both fined $50,000 and placed on probation, which included the next 6 NASCAR Cup Series points paying races, so that would go into the next season. Throughout this whole situation, NASCAR was definitely most upset with the crew members getting involved and fighting like they did, and they thought that several crew members definitely crossed the line on this one. But as for Brad Keselowski and Jeff Gordon, no further action was taken on either of them, and nothing happened to Kevin Harvick either, who gave Keselowski that little push to pretty much initiate that whole entire brawl, as Brad clearly didn't want anything to do with it at first. And that championship battle drastically tightened up, with all 8 competitors within 18 points of each other heading into Phoenix. So that's going to wrap up today's video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. I hope you enjoyed this one. This one was highly requested, and I had fun making this one and revisiting this race. Subscribe to my channel for more classic motorsports content just like this, and make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope to see you in my next one. Take care, everybody.